welcome to the first Tomo Talks. Today's topic is not going to be focused on what cloud brings to the table. It's more going to be focused on what you as an enterprise can take from that offering. And the first thing that pops to my mind when thinking about cloud and enterprise projects is flexibility. Flexibility that you have in testing your business cases, in testing your hypothesis, and the process of doing that is just uploading the data in the cloud, crunching it there, using managed services, using the tools that you already have available in the cloud, using hardware resources that you already have available. So you don't have to go through the process of writing down functional specifications in advance, getting your purchasing office to buy your hardware, to buy your software licenses, getting the engineering teams. I mean, you have to have, of course, engineers, but you can prove or you can see what business value your data sets will bring. By doing that, you will also learn a few things. You will learn, is it possible to do so using reasonable resources? You will have a good foundation for solution architecture, solution design, and you will also have a good, idea what exactly needs to be done. I think that process is much better than thinking in advance. And if the process of testing your idea in traditional way takes too long, then maybe that idea is not valid anymore at the point of time where you have gathered all the hardware and software resources and engineering resources you need for proving a simple business case or a more complex one. Cloud also gives you a very good environment for testing out data integrations, for testing out new tools and the new paradigms that you have. It's not like you want to build you don't have to know in advance do you want to build a data warehouse or a data lake or a data mesh or operational data platform or event streaming platform. You can just go into cloud and test it on one simple case. You can test it on one business domain. Why? Because you are not bound to have all the things available for you in advance. While thinking about that, it's also good to know that you're going to introduce new roles in your organization. And those new roles are going to be infrastructure, CI/CD, and DevOps teams. DevOps more like a way of thinking, but CI/CD I see as a very important part of every new software product. The thing is that in cloud, you are inclined to think, not only about the business logic, the code that you are deploying, not about the data sources that you need to bring to the cloud, but you also have to think a lot about what resources I have to deploy together with my code. So then it's infrastructure as a code becomes a way of thinking for all development teams. And then if you have very processes and data processing logic that is very demanding on hardware and it's happening twice a month, you can just assemble your pipeline in a way that you deploy all the infrastructure together with your code. You just process the data, you store it somewhere. Of course, you deploy the storage, and you're not paying for the rest of the time that processing power, that storage, and everything else is not used. So you're like implementing the real CI/CD, you're implementing real infrastructure as a code, which is very beneficial for cost control. Talking about budgeting and cost control also, so if we've gone through these phases of, let's say, we tested our business case, we assessed the value of that business case that can bring to our organization, and then we are moving toward solution design and creating a software product out of our ideas and out of our prototypes and POCs. So what we do then, we already have the idea how much it will cost. We have to, of course, assess, we have to know what is our data volumes. We have to know what is altogether a need, and how are we going to scale to be able to fulfill that process. But then, after we are done with that, we have very transparent billing in the cloud, and you can know either you're going to continue using managed services, or you're going to refactor the code and deploy it as, I don't know, containerized Docker components, or whatever you will find the best solution for the budget you have. So, I mean, this is something that if you are if you spent a long time in the industry, these are the things that everyone appreciates, because it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of resources, and it saves a lot of unanswered questions. It's also reducing the risk of not being sure what exactly is going to happen when I want to crunch the data that I have, which wasn't even possible before, because I couldn't get my hands on hardware, I couldn't get my hands on software licenses for a long time, and finally when I did, again, you don't know how these things are going to work in the real production environment, which are all the cases that you can successfully test in using cloud environments. That's more or less it for the first Tomo Talk, for the first topic that I wanted to say a few things about. So yeah, stay well, take care.